Hi everyone, this is Buga, content creator from Modern Singer. There are plenty of articles offering tips to singers on presenting their best audition. But what about getting that audition in the first place? What about that all-important application process that can weed you out before you even have the chance to shake the panel's hands, let alone open your mouth and sing? A lot of times, singers undermine what could have been an exciting first impression with a very bad application. So, in order to prevent this from happening, here are our 10 top tips to writing your best application. So the first thing you want to do right is addressing the recipient of your initial email or letter. This is the first thing they will read, so make sure you get it right. Start your email or letter with "Dear," not "Hi." If your recipient starts addressing replies with something more informal, then you've got the all clear to do so yourself. Don't presume you can informally greet someone by their first name until they've signed off an email with it. The one exception to this rule is if the audition notice already specifies a recipient by their first name. For example, email Jane at her email. You don't have to be overly formal by using title and surname. A great rule of thumb is to simply use someone's full name upon first greeting, for example, Dear Jane Brown, then take the lead on how to appropriately address them in future correspondence from how they address you and sign off their own emails. The only circumstance in which you should be writing an anonymous greeting is if there is absolutely no indication of the name of a recipient in the audition notice. Receiving a "Dear Sir or Madam" or "To whom it may concern" when a recipient's name is clearly on a notice is an immediate red flag about your attention to detail. So, now that you have the addressing right, it's time to write the cover letter and/or email. If the notice specifies a cover letter, attach this as a separate document with a simple accompanying email to say, "Dear name, please find attached the materials for my application for project or role. Yours sincerely, your name." However, if there is no cover letter requirement, it is always worth putting at least a sentence or two in the body of the email to accompany your application materials. First impressions count. A sentence about why you are particularly suitable for this project or really keen to be considered sets you out from the crowd straight away. It also shows you've made an effort. Of course, to end the email, you need a signature. Don't neglect your email signature. You can include your name, title, if applicable, links to your website, portfolio, or even a current project. Now let's turn to the things you attach to the email. It's really important to format your resume. Always convert your resume and other written documents into PDF to ensure your intended formatting, font, and content gets safely to the other side. Your resume tells the story of you as an artist and your career so far. Take a look at our branding workshop to help you with this and more. Another thing you need is a headshot. It's great to include a headshot on your resume, but make sure it actually looks like you. Keep it small and neat in the top right-hand corner of the document. If a headshot has been specifically requested, attach a high-res photo separately. And if it hasn't, it's certainly worth including on your resume anyway. More headshot advice can be found in our branding workshop. Usually when we send out our applications, we are very excited or nervous, so a very important thing to do is to check your application requirements. Check these at least twice and make sure you've attached everything requested. If they specified a resume, don't send a biography. If they've asked for 2 recordings, don't send 1, 3, or none. If an application doesn't have all the materials the panel has asked for, they may give it as much consideration as the applicant has clearly given their audition notice. None. Talking about requirements, let's talk about recordings and/or videos. If the application requirements don't specify how many to send, 2 is a safe bet. Make sure these are contrasting and show off different skills and specialties. If you do have the luxury of choice, try to find material most appropriate to the project for which you are applying. Feel free to politely include a link to your website or SoundCloud with the option of hearing or watching more, rather than attaching too many large audio or video files to an email. Since you will probably put your website link somewhere in the signature or in the body of the email, let's talk online presence. Make sure your website and social media presence is accurate and up to date, and that all public written and photographic content portrays you as a responsible and trustworthy colleague. They will Google you. Number 9 on our list is audition availability. If your availability is limited during the stated audition period, for example, you're traveling a long way to get there, or you have clashing commitments you cannot change, by all means mention this politely and request an audition time within your capabilities. Don't assume they will be able to work around this, but equally don't omit it and then use it as an excuse to cancel last minute, be late, or not show up at all. Last but definitely not least, proofread. Get someone you trust to proofread your email and attached materials. Then press send. There's so many things about the casting process you have no control over, but you can truly take responsibility for the things you have under your control. Following these guidelines, you can be confident you've done your part in representing yourself to the best of your ability and given the company the very best chance of seeing what you can offer as an artist and as a colleague.
We hope this information helps you build your career and have fun doing it. Please like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel so we can continue making videos to help you. If you have any questions about this video or other topics, leave them in the comments below.